Named by San Francisco Chronicle as a winemaker to watch, Vintner Chris Broomell is creating a buzz in the wine world. When you talk about rosé in San Diego, it is inevitable that Vesper Vineyards enters the conversation. I met with Chris in his tasting room located in Escondido to discuss his Jura-styled Vesper Vineyards McCormick Ranch Grenache Rosé. Today on Taste of Rosé, I'm here with winemaker Chris Broomell from Vesper Vineyards. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks.
Why is it that you're so adamant and so focus-driven on rosés?
Mostly just growing up and living in San Diego. Like the climate and kind of the culture and beach town and all that. For me, it just begs for rosé every day of the year. I found myself, when I moved back down here from up north, just enjoying rosés often. And there weren't very many local rosés.
Were there any?
Yeah, a few. Okay. Mostly sweeter styled for the tasting room people who wanted a sweet wine kind of thing as an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
I tend not to like sugar in my wine, so it was changing the focus and making more kind of food-friendly, serious styles of rosé.
I think San Diego, of course, is a great place. It's a natural place to drink rosé, but it's really interesting that some of the finest rosés now, and there's a lot of buzz about Vesper Vineyards, and actually San Diego is making and producing rosé.
Yeah, when I moved down here, it was one of those weird, like, misses in the marketplace. None of the rosés were really seriously made or thought of. They're kind of an afterthought in production.
It's my understanding that Vesper Vineyards, your kind of philosophy with respect to rosés is that they're intentional rosés. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah. They're farmed intentionally. They're put together as a single vineyard blend the morning of harvest, all harvested the same day, co-fermented, and then aged to a point that they're ready.
Chris, one of the things we have here that you can get at the tasting room is great is your 2012 McCormick Ranch Vesper Grenache Rosé. Guys, you can get it in bring your growler, and you also have growlers available here for purchase, is that correct?
Yeah.
You know, this is a very unique rosé, very much in the style of the Jura, which is very unusual. Tell me a little bit more about how you made this particular rosé.
So it's the first harvest I got off McCormick Ranch specifically for rosé from the Grenache. And it came in and I kind of picked it to acid, and after pressing out, it ended up being like 3.1 pH, TA was 1.1, like extremely high acidity, which I was really excited about. And then after primary fermentation, I was looking at the flavor profile and kind of like what it was settling out to be with the leaves and stuff, and it smelled like strawberries, and then and it had no mint palate, and then on the end was like a Sour Patch Kid. So it was kind of disjointed in a way. And it was fermented in neutral vessels. So oxygen was neutral barrels, right? So oxygen ingresses. It wasn't in stainless. It was a like ambient kind of vessel.
Okay.
And I made 60 cases total of it, so it was kind of a fun experiment. I'm like, let's just see what happens if I seal it up and leave it. And so once a month I would, I had a, much like sour beer guys do, you have a hole in the head of the barrel, a little hole with a stainless nail, so you can take a sample without disturbing the top and introducing mass amounts of oxygen.
Okay.
So I never topped it, I never really touched it other than getting a little sample once a month for 12 months. To a point that I thought the complexity was there to balance the acidity to calm it down. And then racked it to bottle, which I wasn't at that point aware of the style of like Jura wines. And after I bottled it and released it 6 months after that, after bottling, people were like, oh, this is very Jura in style. And I'm like, oh, cool. I don't know, it was kind of just for me, it was just figuring out how the wine could best express itself. And it's kind of what, through the months of it aging and paying attention to it, this is what it ended up being.
Yeah, and a very unique rosé. You should check it out. You know, they often have it on tap here at the tasting room at Vesper Vineyards, or you know, you can order online a bottle still. At least we don't know.
Yeah, there's a few cases left of bottles.
Yeah,
so.
but so if there are still cases or bottles left at the time that this airs, people should, if they want to experience something very unique and beautiful from San Diego County, you should try the 2012 McCormick Ranch Vesper Vineyards Rosé.
And the weird thing about it too is I'm holding back a bunch of cases for library because it's a style of rosé with the structure and nuances it has that will actually age, and the fruit component is getting brighter and brighter as the months go on, so it's kind of a fun thing.
But the neat thing too is just by coming here to the tasting room, you can get it by the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chris, let's have another taste of rosé.
Cheers.
Cheers.